So my goal today would be, after this presentation, that you would be able to know what mental health is, what it isn't, how I would recognize my own mental health and what state it is in, and what do I do with that knowledge. So, in order for you to stay in your shine zone, as Clara has said, which is a place where you will be able to inspire others by just being yourself, it's important for you to be in your optimal health. And I just want to just go through a few definitions, as it were. First of all, what is health in the first place? What is mental health? And WHO defines it as a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities. We're talking about being unique, and we're talking about self-actualization. It's a state of well-being in which the individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, and can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her own community. Remember, we are an ecosystem. I shine my shine, you shine your shine, and then we together we can do whatever it is we plan. So please, I just want you to note that there is no mention about any mental illness here. We're talking about mental health, which is a state of well-being. There's no health without mental health. Mental well-being encompasses both physical, mental, and social domains, and some other words that can be used instead of well-being includes happiness, fulfillment, and positive emotions. It means also functioning well, both in the mental, in the physical, and the social aspects of your life. What it is not the absence of disease or illness. Mental health is not depression, it's not PTSD, it's not anxiety, it's not schizophrenia, autism, and it's not drug and alcohol misuse. All those things are mental disorders. So we're talking about a state of being well, not about the mental disorders or illnesses. So you see, there are two ends of the pole, and we're trying to stay in mental wellness, okay? So in that case, where is my mental health? You see, I would like everybody listening to me to realize that as long as there's breath in you and you're alive on this earth, from the day you are born till the day you take your last breath, you have a mental health to protect. So it is knowing exactly, where is my mental health? If I have a headache, I can go to the doctor and say, look, my head is aching me. It's been hurting for so many days. I've done this, done that. It's not working. We need to do something else. So a simple answer to that is that your mental health is a function of three things. If you remember BET, Black Entertainment Television, it is a function of your behavior, your emotions, and your thoughts and perceptions. Okay, I think I should add a P, but maybe I'll change that slide to bet P. Your behavior, how are you behaving? If you want to sit down, if you want to check your mental health, you sit down with yourself. You have to take some time out in the day, or at least periodically, to check, how am I behaving? Why did I do that? Why did I act like that? How are my emotions? You are just getting angrier. You're so irritable. What's going on with you? What's the stress? And your thoughts. If you keep thinking, these people don't like me. Why? What is going on with you? That's the way to do it. That's where you find your mental health. And you really need to be able to take some time. It's called mindfulness. It's being in the here and now, taking time out for yourself to check on yourself, because nobody else will do it for you. Check your behavior, check your emotions, and your thoughts and perception. Perception simply means your view on life, how you see things. Okay. I have here this slide which just shows you the relationship between your thoughts, your behavior, and your feelings. We'll start from thoughts. Your thoughts will create feelings. If you're always thinking negative stuff, particularly about the past, that's where depression starts. If you're constantly thinking negative, your feelings will change and you start feeling low. Your feelings will create your behavior. When you start feeling low, you just don't feel like doing anything. The behavior that follows that one, you're lying in bed, you don't come out of bed until 12 noon, you just don't feel like doing anything, your sleep is poor, and those kind of behaviors will reinforce your thoughts. which will become more negative, and then you have a negative cycle which you have to break. Yeah, to get your mental health back to its optimum. I've put here a list of a table full of negative emotions and positive emotions, because if you ask people, how are you feeling? Many times they will tell you, I'm happy, I'm sad, and it stops there. But no, let's go to the positive ones. There's joy, being interested in things, being enthusiastic, laughter, empathy, action, doing stuff, curiosity, anticipation, pride in yourself, what you're doing, desire, euphoria, hope. All those things are emotions. I will leave the negative emotions for today. So, mental illness, what is it? By the definition I gave, it's easy to see that mental illness is any condition that stops you from doing the following things: from realizing your own abilities or self-actualization, anything that stops you from coping with normal stresses in life, anything that stops or limits your productivity. We've talked about this today. And anything that stops or limits you contributing to your community. Nobody has mentioned what we term madness. If you think about this definition of what mental health is or illness is, you can see that, it's very easy to slip from a state of mental well-being into illness or disorder, as it were. It's very easy to slip, and it's really important that we take that time out to be aware of our own mental state at any time, and to know when things are slipping and what you need to do to get yourself back. There are things that you can do on your own, to improve your mental health and your mental well-being. And we will get to those things in a minute. And we'll also get to know when to seek help. Okay? The broad group of mental illnesses will be the anxieties, the mood disorders, which includes depression, bipolar, affective disorder, and then the schizophrenias and other psychoses, and the personality disorders. This is just very brief. And like I said, I'm not going into mental illness today. I just thought I should mention them. So what are the things I need to look for to know when my mental health is slipping? And these are the things: when people begin to withdraw from people or activities that they would normally enjoy. Somebody who normally likes to play football, every Sunday morning they're on the field, all of a sudden they're telling you that, I just don't feel like it. There's just no point. I'm not, and 1 month has gone, they've not gone to play football any one day. You need to be concerned about that. Sleeping or eating either too much or too little is a problem. If you're people who are manic do not feel a need to sleep. They just don't feel that they need to sleep. They are awake for days. Anxiety can keep you up because you're constantly thinking negatively about what is to come and has not happened. That will lead to anxiety, and it disturbs your sleep. Feeling as if nothing matters, they've lost every care in the world, consistently low in energy or high energy in mania as well. You can't sit down to do anything. You're up and down, constantly. Using drugs more than normal. And then drugs, the most commonly acceptable drug is alcohol. And it includes alcohol and smoking, nicotine. Displaying uncharacteristic emotions. Like I said, when you call yourself to that table and check on your emotions, am I being too irritable? Am I getting angry and snapping at everybody at the least possible thing? Or am I crying all the time? Even am I laughing, all the time? Am I too happy? You need to, check those things and rein them in. Am I confused? Do I feel like I have a foggy brain? Not being able to complete standard tasks. If you ask someone, okay, go and wash the dishes, they just get in a fluster. They can't do something as simple as that. There's a problem. Persistent thoughts or memories that appear regularly. If there's something that's constantly on your mind that you cannot get rid of, you know, you need to check yourself. If you are thinking of harming yourself or somebody else, that actually is an emergency. If you begin to hear voices when other people cannot hear, or see things that others cannot see, those are very serious psychiatric symptoms, and they need these ones. The last three, you don't sit at home and wonder about it. You seek help for those three. I will move on to my next slide. What do I do to promote my mental well-being? The first thing we do is get yourself involved in acts of kindness, acts of charity. Things like volunteering in a soup kitchen, looking after the homeless, do something to help somebody else. Like Clara did say, when we shine, it's to pull other people out of where they find it, or possibly where you have been yourself. So that's the first kind of thing that one needs to do to improve your mental health, because in the first place, you forget about what you think are your worries and your issues, and you are looking after somebody else. You also gain a fulfillment. Remember, we said one of the things about one of the synonym names for mental well-being was fulfillment. The fulfillment you get for changing somebody's life or impacting somebody's life positively will help your own mental health. Sleep. In as much as we work hard, we also need to rest to recharge. What we as medics advocate is 8 hours of sleep a day. You eat well, you exercise regularly, be a person of faith. Research has shown that if you're a person of faith, your mental health, even if you have a challenge, you do better than others who do not have a faith. Remember, one of the positive emotions we talked about was hope. We get hope in our faith. If I remember, one of the words that the scripture says is, Christ in me, the hope of glory. There is hope already, free of charge there, in that belief. You need to be able to connect with people, that is, maintain healthy, and I stress the word healthy, relationships. Please avoid toxic relationships. They suck the life out of your mental health. And connect with people who can ginger you to do what you need to do for you, and get you out of if you're in any maybe slum in your mental health, and they can encourage you to get up out of that place where you are and move on. Learn to relax. African women don't know that's a 4-letter word to us. We're always rushing from one thing, looking after the children, to the next thing, to the next thing. We forget to take that time out for ourselves, and just, even if it's doing nothing, if you want to go and swim, go and put yourself in the Atlantic Ocean today, tomorrow go to the Indian Ocean, go to Acapulco, relax, learn to relax. It helps to build up the good hormones in your brain that will help, give you or promote a good mood and your mental state. Work hard. But remember that balance is key. And as in anything in medicine, early recognition of the illness or the symptoms and presentation to a doctor is key in anything in medicine. So if you recognize that your mental health is slipping and is going downwards, then you try the things that we've said to you to try, like exercise, like relaxation, and those kind of things. If you find that it's not helping you, or that you are beginning to have any of those last three symptoms I spoke about, thinking about suicide or harming other people, having a form of psychosis, as in seeing and hearing things that are not there, and having a delusion. Delusion simply means a thought or a belief that somebody holds on to, which is out of keeping with their physical, social, psychological, the evidence. For instance, as Black as I am in England, and I believe that the queen is my mother. There's no way. That's completely out of it. That is a delusion, and it's a serious sign of a mental illness. So if you have, or you notice you're experiencing any of those three, please present urgently to a suitably qualified medical person for them to help you out. And this is going to be my final slide, and talks about 5 ways to, improve to better mental well-being. Keep learning. Like I think it was Clara who said it, or learning is lifelong. It's until you enter the grave. You learn every day. You can learn from anybody. You can learn from a child. I have learned so much today myself, and I've picked up things that I am going to use for myself in progressing my career from this talk. Connect. Stay connected to people, like-minded people who can, boost you up and ginger you to move from where you are to where you want to go. Take notice. I talked about mindfulness, taking time to notice things around you, to notice yourself, to listen for the birds, to watch the leaves and the flower. Take some time to notice things. Be a giver, not just of money, of your time, your talents, and what you can give really to others, and be active. You cannot overemphasize the benefits of exercise, even if it is 30 minutes walk a day, to keep your mind active and to keep your body fit as well. So I'm going to stop here, and hopefully if there are any questions, we'll take it up in the question and answer session. Thank you.